So, just about to view a potential HMO. Now, I'll try and do a video when I'm inside the property. Now, you've always got to look at the floor space. This is actually only a two-bed property. That's what it's been marked as, a two-bed end terraced. However, the floor space is just short of 100 square meters. So, I'm just going to see what it's like inside. And obviously, as you can probably hear, it is quite a busy A road. This, not too far away from the town centre, and I know that there's some other HMOs actually on this road. So yeah, just be aware of rooms total square footage or square meterage. Like I said, it's about 100 square meters. It's only two beds, so see what happens. See what the viewing's like. Really, it's had no offers of yet because it's probably over. Well, for a two bed, it's overpriced. So we'll see if it's got the potential there to turn it into a HMO. It looks like it could be a six bed. If not, it might be a five bed. Definitely looks like we need to move the stairs, shift the kitchen from the back more into the middle of the property. But yeah, I'm unsure if you can hear me too well, but have a look for part two during the viewing or obviously after the viewing. Good luck. Okay, so nice wide hallway corridor space here. And we go, obviously upstairs there, stair lift going into what is the main reception room here. As you can see now, extremely high ceilings, which allows you, when you're jigging around upstairs really, to lower the ceilings here and obviously hide, should I say, the services and the pipes and so on. So it is pretty much, obviously, it's a nice tidy house, definitely. Yeah, so let's have a look at the other one. Here we go. Going then into the second reception room. Right, so nice large size here. Radiators, we'll see if the electrics are down here, might not be. I'll have a good look at those later on. Again, nice sizable room. Tongue and groove would obviously need replacing. Again, if you look at the ceiling here compared to the ceiling in the other one, you'll see it there as well. Again, we brought it down about a foot, so maybe what's hiding behind there, who knows. This is where it gets a bit interesting though. So the kitchen is here, so from there now, maybe a steel across there, shrink this through here. The floor sizes now, again, if this was going to be the back door open, it is bedroom. We've got access there. You can't have, put it here actually, I don't know, you can't have a bedroom leading directly onto a kitchen unless there's obviously a way out from that bedroom, just in case of the fire or anything like that really. Let's have a look through, go back through there. So again, that's pretty much where the kitchen dining room would be. Nice kitchen size here. There we go. Oh, sounds good. Thank you very much. Not going to lock me down here, are you? So, cellar here. Again, maybe the gas and electrics down here. We'll see. This wouldn't actually be. This is a very big cellar. Don't make them like this anymore, do they? So, again, gas meter there. Always need to check if it is live and so on. But yeah, gas meter there, which is good. I'll ask a little bit more about that. Electricity there as well. So after this video, I'll have a better look at this. Again, always want to get somebody down here just to check what these are like. Again, big space, but you definitely have this boxed off if it was a HMO. Otherwise, it just turned into a big dumping ground for everybody. Again, it's probably where steel would be, knocking it through there, going through there, this, then again 16, 18 square meters or there or thereabouts. Thank you for that. We're going upstairs now. This is where, again, let's have a look. That is, again, have a look. Yep, the very big rooms. What else have we got? Again, always check that out as well. See what the ridge line's like. Had a quick look earlier on. Now, with this being an end terrace, it's good in the fact that you could obviously got that external wall where you could put any pipeworks. If it was a mid terrace, obviously you don't have that benefit. So this is potentially another bedroom there. One going across here, and again, depending on how much you wanted to spend at it, potential there too. Wrap round again, another staircase for another bedroom upstairs. This is fantastic as well. When you've got 1 and 2 windows at the front, this could potentially be split into 2. So again, like I said before, yes, it is a 2-bed property, but it's about 100 square meters, this property, so it has got a lot of potential. So I'll do another part after this, have a quick breakdown of the numbers and so on. So good luck. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. Okay, so just got back now from the viewing. Now, first impressions, again, just in case anybody's not watched any of my videos before or anything like that, you should never attend a viewing unless, obviously, you've done your due diligence and the figures seem to work even before doing the viewing. The viewing really is either to solidify or obviously deny, avoid really, whether or not you should be investing in the property. So, the property that we've just been to view is a 2-bed, very large and terraced. Now, as you go in, it's obviously got the corridor there, hallway. You then got the main reception room on your left. At the end of the corridor, you can go up the stairs, and then just before the stairs, you've then got another second reception room, and then at the back, there is a very small kitchen. Now, what you'd be looking to do, first of all, is when you're looking at HMOs, you need to be aware of, right, well, how many rooms am I looking to build here? Is it just going to be a simple one? You know, the 4-bed one? Is it going to be a little bit bigger? Is it going to be 5 or 6? Now, again, this is where you need to know your basic measurements. So in our local council here, they just adopt the national guidelines. So it's 6.51 square meters for a bedroom. So 6.51. Now, if you're looking to do a 6-bedroom one, then obviously you're going to do 6.5 times 6, which is about 39 square meters. If you're looking to do a 5-bed one, then you're going to do 6.5 times 5, and whatever that is, 32, 33 meters, and so on. So already there, just from looking at the footprint of the property, when you're looking at it on Rightmove, Zoopla, on the market and so on, if obviously it's not a direct to vendor or anything, you should be able to be aware, you know, roughly this is how many bedrooms I can create from this property. But we've then got to understand that they need the communal area. Now, what you'd want to do, especially with that one, hopefully I made the video quite clear and so on, the kitchen, which is currently the back of the house, it's only a small little kitchen, you'd bring that into what is currently the second reception room. Now, that really needs to be about 16/18 square meters. And if it wasn't 16 to 18 square meters, obviously, then what we'd need to do is move the internal wall so it makes the first reception room. Hopefully, we're following this and I'm not tying myself in knots. Excuse me. The first reception room, which is going to be the first bedroom, a little bit smaller, but yet still way over the 6.51 meter guidelines and so on, or boundaries, limits, minimum requirements. And therefore you can still get in the second reception room, which would be the kitchen slash dining room and so on. And then what is currently the kitchen at the back of the property, that will be the small bedroom. Now, like I said to you before, you can't have a bedroom and a HMO opening straight onto the kitchen. So what you'd need to make sure is, and it's ideal for that one, that it's got a door there which leads them onto the courtyard. Now, the courtyard also can then not be encased in, so they then need access to get outside there as well. Obviously, there's a back gate there and so on. Now, if you needed to move the stairs, which I don't think we'd need to do on that one, obviously the stairs then allows you to add more space which you're going to get paid for. Now, the important thing is, and a lot of mentors say this, and again, it's definitely true, halls and so on, you don't get rent for those, and communal spaces, you don't get rent for those. So if you're giving it out to a social housing provider, government funded provider, whatever, they pay you per room. Okay, so if you've got your license sorted and it meets all the regulations, which I'm sure it will do if you're an ethical person, definitely if you're watching this channel and you've subscribed, then you should always be basing it on how many bedrooms can I get here? Because obviously, if that was on a long-term mortgage, the mortgage there may be, let's say for instance, £900 per calendar month. If you're getting 6 bedrooms at a local rate here, which isn't that much, let's do it, underplay it, £400 a room, 6, 12, 8, there's £2,400 there per property, or should I say for the property, if you're leasing it out, minus your £900 mortgage payments and your insurance and so on. So you've always got to be looking at the cash flow and thinking to yourself, don't over spec it or spec it needed or in line with your end user. So again, I say whitewash, but it wouldn't really be whitewashed. It'd just be a dark grey really to try and make it somewhat, wouldn't look as scruffy and scuffed, especially along the corridors and so on. But getting back to what I was saying there, we knew that that had potential just by looking at the floor plan. Now, when you're looking at the floor plan, you don't look at it as with all the internal walls in and so on. All you're looking at is the external boundary of the property, and then it'd be down to your architects then to think, right, this is how much square footage we've got. This is what we need to do in order to get the 6 bedrooms we want. We might need to move the staircase. We definitely need to move the kitchen into here. We might need to move this wall, or obviously knock it down and build a new one and so on. Yes, we might need a couple of steels in. So it's not as simple as just putting up a couple of stud walls or anything like that, especially on those older properties. Again, it might be late 1800s, that definitely, 1900, 1910 or something. They're very, they're not, they were built to last back in those days. So when you're then looking at the maths, you're thinking, right, how much am I putting in as a deposit? Are you raising that through a joint venture, anything, whatever it is, you need to then put down your 25% plus your stamp duty. Now, don't get all stressed and worked up about all of the fees. You just need to build them into your calculations. So if that property is now up for 200,000, you're already talking straight away 50,000 on stamp duty. Sorry, it won't be long until it's still that on the deposit. Then you've got obviously stamp duty, which is probably going to be, have a look at Knight Frank, the website there. That's always a good one. Or again, just the .gov.uk one, and just work out how much it would be. Probably, is it going to be about 13,000, something like that, there or thereabouts. Again, don't quote me on that. Like I said, have a look at Knight Frank, check on their stamp duty calculator and so on. But that will probably need, again, rough maths here now, you're probably going to be looking at spending at least 40, somewhere to 40 to 50,000 to bring it up to where it needs to be. And then the other side is, are you then going to get, when you come to refinance it, a bricks and mortar valuation or a commercial valuation? And again, if you never heard, about commercial valuations, they're always based on the rental amount. So that's where you need that good locked-in contracts lease from a decent housing provider that will prove that they're, paying you this much every month, which equates to this much per annum and so on. So hopefully, if you're still watching this, you're definitely the people that we work with. You're not bothered about hype. You're not bothered about any of the fluff or anything like that. You understand that when people say buy-to-lets are dead, HMOs are dead, SA is the way forward and so on, you can see through all that noise and hype. You understand that property, the basics are still there. Everybody needs a roof over their head. And here in the UK, it's an ever increasingly growing population with a housing supply that can definitely not keep up. So somebody will always need a roof over their head. Anyway, make sure you subscribe. Hopefully provide a little bit of value with this. Should have scripted it a little bit more in there, but it give you a good idea, especially if you're unsure how HMOs work and so on. Now, our area as well, the licence is £1,500, and some people think, God, that's a lot of money. Of course, £1,500 is a lot of money, but divide it by 5 years, that's £300 a year. Divide it by 50 weeks of the year and so on, it's like £6 a week in order for you to have a nice cash flowing asset where you've fixed that debt, and obviously inflation over the long run will erode it if you're looking to keep hold of it for 10, 20, 30 years and so on, and it should provide you with money each and every month. But let's not forget, it's an asset that you need to look after and make sure you maintain and so on. Hit that subscribe button, maybe check out the link as well. Have a look at the Black Belt Property Accelerator. No fluff, no hype, just people that we're taking from new white belt investors through to confident black belt investors and beyond. It's all about this mindset. Good luck, everybody. All the best.